The phone call comes at 2:47 a.m. Is this Maya Chen? The girl with the water project? Maya sits up in bed, confused and groggy. Who is this? Someone who works where your water comes from. Meet me tomorrow at Riverside Park, 6 a.m. Come alone. And Maya? The voice drops to a whisper. Bring a recording device. What I'm about to show you will change everything. The line goes dead. Maya stares at her phone in the darkness. For 3 months, she's been conducting what everyone calls a simple chemistry project, testing water quality in different neighborhoods around her city. The results have been disturbing enough to keep her awake at night. Lead levels 3 times higher than federal standards. Contamination mysteriously concentrated in low-income areas, while wealthy neighborhoods show pristine results. But a mysterious midnight caller suggesting conspiracy? Maya's rational mind says it's probably a prank. Some classmate who saw her presentation proposal and decided to mess with her. Except for one problem, Maya never told anyone the specific details of her water testing. She never mentioned the patterns she'd discovered. She certainly never used the phrase, water project, in any public discussion. So how does a stranger know exactly what she's been working on? And why are they willing to risk meeting her in secret to share information that will change everything? Maya checks the time. 2:48 a.m. In 3 hours and 12 minutes, she'll have to decide whether to meet a mysterious caller who somehow knows about research she's told no one about. But first, she needs to understand how a simple high school chemistry project became something worth secret meetings and whispered warnings. Because tomorrow morning, Maya will discover that her water testing accidentally uncovered the largest systematic poisoning of children in her city's history. And the people responsible will do anything to keep her quiet, including threatening the life of her 12-year-old brother. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment from where you're watching this video, because what's coming next will shock your understanding and made you before. Question any water you're taking. Maya's alarm sounds at 5:30 a.m. She's been rising before dawn for months, collecting water samples before school. Today feels different, heavier. Her presentation to the Water Commission is at 3 p.m. She reviews her data one final time. The pattern is undeniable. Neighborhoods with majority Latino and Black residents show lid levels 3 times higher than federal safety standards. The wealthy Northside development shows levels well within acceptable ranges. But it's not just lead. Chlorine byproducts, industrial runoff, bacterial contamination, all concentrated in specific zip codes. Maya's mother watches from the kitchen doorway. Mija, maybe it's time to let this go. You've done enough. Enough? Maya's voice sharpens. Antonio is still in the hospital. The Ramirez twins have permanent kidney damage. Mrs. Liu's baby was born with developmental delays. How is that enough? Her mother's expression softens with worry. Some fights are too big for one person. Maya packs her testing equipment. Then maybe it's time more people joined the fight. At school, Maya's chemistry teacher, Dr. Patterson, reviews her presentation materials. His face grows increasingly grave as he studies her methodology and results. Maya, this is graduate-level research. Your statistical analysis is flawless. He pauses, choosing his words carefully. But you understand what you're alleging here? Systematic water contamination based on neighborhood demographics. I'm not alleging anything, I'm presenting data. Dr. Patterson pulls up a map on his computer. Have you researched who owns the water treatment facilities in these areas? Maya hadn't. They spend lunch period diving into public records. What they find makes Maya's stomach drop. Aquatech Solutions owns and operates water treatment for every affected neighborhood. The same company that donated $2.3 million to Commissioner Wells's campaign last year. The same company contracted exclusively for low-income area water services, while premium neighborhoods retain municipal control. This isn't just contamination, Dr. Patterson realizes aloud. This is systematic negligence for profit. Maya stares at the screen. Her simple chemistry project has uncovered something much darker. That afternoon, Maya arrives at City Hall carrying a briefcase full of evidence. The Water Commission meeting is held in a sterile conference room. 5 commissioners sit behind a mahogany table. Commissioner Wells, a man in his 60s with silver hair and cold eyes, presides from the center. Next item, Wells announces without looking up from his phone. student presentation regarding water quality concerns. Maya approaches the podium. The weight of months of work sits heavy in her chest. She begins with confidence, displaying her first slide, a map showing lead contamination levels across the city. Commissioners, my research over the past 6 months has revealed dangerous disparities in water quality across our city's neighborhoods. Commissioner Wells barely glances at her slides. Ms. Chen, while we appreciate student involvement in civic matters, the Water Commission relies on professional testing conducted by certified laboratories, not high school chemistry experiments. Heat flushes Maya's cheeks, but she maintains composure. Sir, my methodology follows EPA protocols exactly. I've triple-checked every result and had them verified by the university lab. University lab? Wells looks up for the first time, his interest suddenly sharp. Yes, sir. Dr. Elizabeth Morrison at State University confirmed my findings using professional-grade equipment. The room's temperature seems to drop. Wells exchanges glances with the other commissioners. I see. And what exactly are your conclusions, Ms. Chen? Maya takes a breath. This is it. The data shows systematic water contamination in neighborhoods serviced by Aquatech Solutions, with lead levels exceeding federal standards by 300% in some areas. Meanwhile, neighborhoods with municipal water service show levels well within safe ranges. Commissioner Wells stands abruptly. This meeting is concluded. Sir, I haven't finished. Your presentation raises serious concerns about defamation against a city contractor. We'll need to review your materials before proceeding. 2 security guards materialize as if from nowhere. Wells extends his hand. We'll need to confiscate your evidence pending legal review. Maya clutches her briefcase. This is public information. You can't. Miss Chen, Wells's voice turns icy. You're making serious accusations against a reputable company based on amateur testing. That constitutes potential libel. We're protecting both you and Aquatech from legal complications. The security guards step closer. Maya realizes she has 2 choices: surrender her evidence or be forcibly removed. She thinks of her brother in his hospital bed and makes a decision that will change everything. Commissioner Wells, I wonder if you'd be willing to drink a glass of water from the Riverside Heights treatment plant right now? The room falls silent. Wells's face flushes red. Excuse me? Maya opens her briefcase and retrieves a sealed bottle. This is water from the tap at Riverside Elementary School, collected this morning. If Aquatech's water is safe as you claim, surely you wouldn't mind demonstrating? Wells stares at the bottle as if it contains poison. Which, Maya realizes, it essentially does. That's enough. Wells snaps. Security, remove this girl and confiscate all materials. As rough hands grab Maya's arms, she makes one final move. Her phone has been recording the entire exchange. With a quick swipe, she uploads the video to every social media platform she can access in those precious seconds before security wrestles her phone away. You can take my evidence, Maya calls out as they drag her toward the exit, but you can't take the truth. The water doesn't lie, Commissioner Wells. Even when you do. The video goes viral overnight. #water doesn't lie trends nationally. Maya's dramatic challenge to Commissioner Wells, offering him contaminated water from the very neighborhoods he's supposed to protect, strikes a nerve across the country. But Maya pays a price for her viral moment. The next morning, she's called to Principal Rodriguez's office. A man in an expensive suit sits beside the principal's desk. Maya, this is Attorney Harold Kessler from Aquatech Solutions. Kessler slides a thick document across the desk. Ms. Chen, your accusations against my client constitute defamation. This cease and desist order requires you to retract all statements and surrender any materials related to Aquatech. Maya scans the legal document. The language is intimidating, designed to scare a high school student into compliance. I presented factual data about water contamination. How is that defamation? You explicitly connected contamination to my client's negligence without proof of causation. Principal Rodriguez leans forward. Maya, Aquatech is threatening to sue both you and the school. They claim your presentation damaged their reputation and stock price. Maya's hands tremble slightly, but her voice remains steady. So they're more concerned about their stock price than children's health? Kessler's smile is predatory. Miss Chen, you're 18, an adult. Adult consequences apply to adult accusations. I suggest you consider your future carefully. That evening, Maya sits in her brother's hospital room. Antonio, 12 years old, is connected to a breathing machine. His doctor, Dr. Jennifer Liu, reviews his chart with obvious frustration. His condition isn't improving as we'd hoped. The lung scarring appears permanent. Maya's mother breaks down. Permanent? He's 12 years old. Dr. Liu closes the chart. I've seen 17 similar cases this month, all from the same neighborhood, all children under 15. She looks directly at Maya. I heard about your water research. Have you considered the connection? You think the water caused this? I can't prove causation legally, but the correlation is undeniable. These respiratory conditions often result from prolonged exposure to heavy metals and industrial pollutants. Maya studies her brother's pale face. The breathing machine forces his chest to rise and fall mechanically. Dr. Liu, would you be willing to testify about these cases if I could prove the water connection definitively? The doctor hesitates. Maya, I have a family, a medical license to protect. Aquatech has powerful lawyers. Children are dying. Dr. Liu stares at Antonio's chart for a long moment. If you can provide definitive scientific proof, yes, I'll testify. Maya returns home to find her mother waiting with tears in her eyes. Mija, they fired me today. Maya's world tilts. What? Why? The hospital said it was budget cuts, but the supervisor mentioned your recent notoriety might reflect poorly on the family's judgment. Maya realizes the true cost of challenging power. It's not just her future at risk, it's her family's survival. That night, Maya lies awake strategizing. Aquatech's legal threats might intimidate a high school student, but they've made one crucial mistake. They've confirmed her research threatens them. Companies don't spend money silencing lies. They silence truth. She needs more evidence. Better evidence. Evidence so overwhelming that no legal threat can suppress it. Maya picks up her phone and searches for investigative journalists. If she's going down, she's taking Aquatech with her. Reporter Jake Morrison arrives at Maya's house driving a beat-up Honda and carrying a digital recorder. He's not what Maya expected from an investigative journalist. Mid-30s, tired eyes, rumpled clothes that suggest he's been working non-stop. I've been investigating Aquatech for 2 years, he tells Maya over coffee in her kitchen. Your video provided the smoking gun I needed. Jake spreads files across the table. Internal Aquatech documents, leaked emails, financial records. Maya, what you discovered isn't isolated. Aquatech operates the same scheme in 14 cities. They bid exclusively for water contracts in low-income areas, then cut maintenance costs to maximize profit. The contamination isn't accidental. It's systematic cost-cutting. Maya studies the documents. Email chains show Aquatech executives discussing acceptable contamination thresholds in non-premium service areas. Another document outlines their political donation strategy to ensure regulatory flexibility. This is evidence of deliberate poisoning. Jake nods grimly. But proving it requires access to internal Aquatech facilities. Their treatment plants are heavily secured. No journalist has ever gained access. Maya stares at the documents, wheels turning. What if you didn't need to be a journalist? That evening, Maya applies for a job at Aquatech's Riverside Heights treatment facility. Her chemistry background and stellar grades make her an attractive candidate for their student internship program. The irony is perfect. Aquatech will pay her to gather evidence of their own crimes. 3 days later, Maya receives a call. She's been accepted for a summer internship starting immediately. Commissioner Wells himself requested her application be fast-tracked. Interesting, Jake muses when Maya tells him. Either they're incredibly arrogant or they want to keep their enemy close. Maya's first day at the treatment plant reveals the truth. They're both arrogant and strategic. Plant manager Carl Hendricks makes her assignment clear. Miss Chen, given your interest in water quality, we want you to see our operation firsthand. Help dispel any misunderstandings about our excellent safety record. Maya is assigned to work with senior technician Luis Morales, a man in his 40s who's worked the plant for 15 years. As they walk through the facility, Maya notices immediately that equipment is old, rusty, and poorly maintained. When was this filtration system last upgraded? Maya asks innocently. Luis glances around nervously. Officially? Last year? Unofficially? Not since I started working here. Maya documents everything with her phone during bathroom breaks. corroded pipes, broken monitoring equipment, chemical storage tanks with visible leaks. Most damning of all, the control room computer shows contamination levels in real time. Lead levels consistently read 2 to 3 times above federal limits. Luis, these readings show dangerous contamination. Shouldn't this trigger emergency protocols? Luis's expression grows haunted. Those protocols were suspended 2 years ago. Corporate said the readings were equipment errors that would be fixed during the next maintenance cycle. When is the next maintenance cycle? That's what we keep asking. During her lunch break, Maya calls Jake from her car. It's worse than we thought. They know the water is contaminated. They're deliberately ignoring it. Can you get documentation? Maya looks back at the plant. Through the window, she can see Luis at his monitoring station, shoulders slumped with the weight of complicity. I think I can do better than that. I think I can get a whistleblower. That afternoon, Maya approaches Luis privately. How do you sleep at night, knowing children are drinking this water? Luis stares at his hands. I have 3 kids of my own. If I lose this job, we lose our house. If you keep this job, other people's children die. Luis is quiet for a long time. Finally, he speaks. I've been documenting everything for 3 years, hoping someone would care enough to investigate. I never imagined it would be a high school intern. He hands Maya a flash drive. Water quality reports, maintenance records, internal memos. Everything showing they know about the contamination and choose to ignore it. Maya stares at the drive. Luis, this could destroy Aquatech, but it might destroy you too. My daughter is 7 years old. She lives in Riverside Heights. She drinks this water every day. Luis's voice breaks. What kind of father am I if I stay silent? That evening, Maya and Jake review Luis's files. The evidence is overwhelming. Years of contamination reports ignored, maintenance requests denied, safety protocols abandoned, all to increase profit margins. This is criminal negligence on a massive scale, Jake breathes. We need to publish immediately. Maya's phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Stop digging or face consequences. Your brother's medical care depends on your cooperation. Maya shows Jake the message. His expression darkens. They're watching you. This means we're close. Maya stares at the threat. They've already fired her mother, threatened her family's future, and now they're using her sick brother as leverage. Jake, what happens if we publish and they follow through on their threats? Jake looks at her with respect tinged by sadness. Maya, that's the choice every truth-teller faces. Stay safe and let injustice continue, or risk everything for what's right. Maya thinks of Antonio in his hospital bed, of the 17 other children with similar conditions, of Luis's 7-year-old daughter drinking poison every day. Publish the story. Jake's story breaks on a Tuesday morning. The water scandal, how Aquatech systematically poisoned low-income communities for profit. The article includes Maya's viral video, Luis's internal documents, and scientific analysis proving deliberate contamination. The response is immediate and explosive. Within hours, federal agencies launch investigations. Aquatech's stock plummets. Commissioner Wells calls an emergency press conference, but Maya pays a personal price. Her phone rings at 6 a.m. The hospital. Miss Chen, we need to discuss your brother's treatment plan. Given recent complications with your family's insurance coverage, we'll need alternative payment arrangements. Maya's blood runs cold. What complications? Your mother's employer-based insurance has been terminated retroactively. Something about employment misconduct. Without coverage, your brother's treatment costs are approximately $147,000. Maya sits in her car outside the hospital, hands shaking. They've weaponized her brother's illness against her. The message is clear. Retract your story, or watch your brother die from lack of medical care. Her phone rings. Commissioner Wells. Miss Chen, I hope we can resolve this unfortunate misunderstanding. Young people sometimes make mistakes they later regret. Commissioner, are you seriously using my brother's medical care to blackmail me? I'm offering you a way out. Aquatech has graciously agreed not to pursue litigation against you if you publicly admit your testing was flawed and apologize for any confusion caused. Maya stares through the hospital window at children playing in a courtyard, children who've been drinking contaminated water their entire lives. And if I refuse, then you'll face the full consequences of your reckless accusations, lawsuits, financial ruin, and unfortunately, medical care your family can no longer afford. Maya ends the call and immediately phones Jake. They're going after my brother's medical care. Jake? They're willing to let a 12-year-old die to protect their profits. Jake's voice turns hard. Maya, this proves everything. No innocent company would use a child's illness as leverage. We need to record them making these threats. That afternoon, Maya returns to Commissioner Wells' office wearing a hidden recording device Jake provided. Wells sits behind his massive desk, exuding confidence. Miss Chen, have you reconsidered our generous offer? Commissioner, I want to understand exactly what you're proposing. Wells leans back in his chair. Simple. You publicly admit your water testing was amateur and inaccurate. You apologize to Aquatech for any damage to their reputation. In return, they graciously choose not to sue you into oblivion, and your family's insurance situation gets resolved. And if I refuse, then Aquatech will pursue defamation charges aggressively. Your mother will remain unemployable in this city. Your brother's medical bills will bankrupt your family. Wells's smile is arctic. Maya, you're 18 years old. Don't throw your life away over a high school science project. Maya stares at him, recording every word. Commissioner, why are you so invested in protecting Aquatech? Wells's confidence falters slightly. I'm protecting this city from baseless accusations that could damage our relationship with essential service providers. Or protecting the $2.3 million they donated to your campaigns. The color drains from Wells's face. That's completely unrelated to. Is it? You take their money, award them exclusive contracts, then threaten families who expose their crimes. That sounds like corruption to me. Wells stands abruptly. This meeting is over. Ms. Chen, you have 24 hours to accept our offer. After that, the consequences are entirely your responsibility. That evening, Maya plays the recording for Jake. His grin is fierce. Maya, you just got a sitting city commissioner on tape threatening to let a child die unless his family stays silent about water contamination. This isn't just corruption. This is extortion. Maya stares out her window at the Riverside Heights neighborhood. Families walking their dogs, children playing in yards, people living their lives unaware they're slowly being poisoned. Jake, I need you to publish everything, the threats, the medical extortion, all of it. But I need a favor first. Name it. Help me get Luis and his family somewhere safe. When this story breaks, Aquatech will know he was the source. They'll destroy him. Jake nods. Already arranged. Luis and his family are being relocated out of state with new identities. The FBI is providing protection. Maya's phone buzzes. A text from Luis. Thank you for giving me courage to do what's right. Take care of yourself, Maya. The truth is worth fighting for. That night, Maya sits beside her brother's bed. Antonio's breathing has improved slightly, but the doctor warned the lung damage might be permanent. Maya? Antonio's voice is weak but clear. Mom told me about your water project. Did you really tell a mean commissioner to drink poison water? Maya laughs despite her exhaustion. Something like that. Are you in trouble? Maya considers the question. Tomorrow, Jake's follow-up story will expose the threats against her family. Federal agencies will likely file criminal charges against Wells and Aquatech executives. But tonight, she's just an 18-year-old girl watching her brother fight for breath. Maybe, but sometimes being in trouble is worth it if you're fighting for something important. Antonio closes his eyes. I'm proud of you, Maya. As her brother drifts to sleep, Maya makes peace with her choice. Whatever happens next, she's given everything to protect children like Antonio. The truth is worth any personal cost. Jake's explosive follow-up story. They threatened a dying child. The depths of water scandal corruption breaks at dawn. The article includes Wells' recorded threats, evidence of insurance cancellation as retaliation, and details about Aquatech's systemic contamination across 14 cities. The public reaction is volcanic. Protests erupt outside City Hall. They threatened a child trends globally. Within 6 hours, the state attorney general announces a criminal investigation into Wells and Aquatech executives. Maya watches the coverage from her brother's hospital room, where Dr. Liu has quietly ensured Antonio continues receiving treatment regardless of insurance status. Maya, Dr. Liu says, reviewing Antonio's latest test results, his lung function is slowly improving. Whatever medication changes the new insurance approved are working. Maya stares at her. New insurance? Dr. Liu smiles mysteriously. Sometimes hospital billing departments make administrative corrections when they discover coverage was improperly terminated. Maya's phone rings. Jake's voice is electric with excitement. Maya, turn on Channel 7 News. Right now. She finds the remote and switches channels. Commissioner Wells stands at a podium, flanked by lawyers, making a statement to a crowd of reporters. I categorically deny any wrongdoing regarding Aquatech Solutions or the Chen family. Ms. Chen's allegations are the desperate fabrications of a troubled teenager seeking attention. A reporter shouts questions from the crowd. Commissioner Wells, we have recordings of you threatening the Chen family. How do you explain that? Wells's face reddens. Those recordings are doctored, completely fabricated. I never threatened anyone. Another reporter. What about Aquatech's internal documents showing they knew about water contamination for years? I have no knowledge of any such documents. Aquatech operates under strict federal guidelines with full transparency. Maya watches in fascination as Wells digs his hole deeper with each lie. Her phone buzzes with a call from an unknown number. Miss Chen, this is FBI Special Agent Rebecca Torres. We'd like to speak with you about your experiences with Commissioner Wells and Aquatech Solutions. 2 hours later, Maya sits in an FBI field office, providing detailed testimony about the past 3 months. Agent Torres records everything, occasionally asking clarifying questions. Maya, you understand that your actions likely prevented thousands of people from continued exposure to dangerous contamination? Maya shifts uncomfortably. I just wanted to understand why kids in my neighborhood kept getting sick. Your research methodology was sophisticated enough that our Environmental Crimes Unit is using it as a model for future investigations. Agent Torres closes her notepad. One more question. Are you interested in studying environmental forensics in college? The FBI has scholarship programs for students with your analytical abilities. That evening, Maya returns home to find her mother cooking dinner for the first time in weeks. The kitchen smells like home instead of hospital disinfectant. Mija, Channel 7 called. They want to interview you tomorrow about the investigation. Maya considers the offer. For months, she's been thrust into a spotlight she never sought. Part of her wants to return to normal life, to finish high school quietly and move on. But then she thinks about Luis, risking everything to do what's right. About Dr. Liu, providing care regardless of insurance complications. About 17 children in hospital beds because adults chose profit over their lives. Mom, I'll do the interview. But I want to do it from Antonio's hospital room, surrounded by the kids who were poisoned by Aquatech's water. The next morning, Channel 7's cameras capture Maya sitting beside her brother's bed, surrounded by young patients from the Riverside Heights neighborhood. Maya looks directly into the camera as she speaks. 3 months ago, I started a simple chemistry project because my brother couldn't breathe. I never imagined that project would expose systematic poisoning of children for corporate profit. The camera pans across the pediatric ward, children connected to breathing machines, IV lines, monitors beeping steadily. Commissioner Wells threatened my family to keep us quiet. Aquatech tried to destroy evidence of their crimes. They canceled our insurance, hoping my brother would die before we could tell the truth. Maya's voice grows stronger with conviction. But here's what they didn't understand. The water doesn't lie. Data doesn't lie. And when you threaten children to hide the truth, you reveal exactly who you are. She looks directly at the camera again. To every family in every city where Aquatech operates, test your water. Document everything. Don't let them silence you with threats or lawsuits or fear. Children are dying while executives count money. The interview goes viral within hours. Maya's message spreads to Aquatech's other service areas. Citizens begin independent water testing. More whistleblowers emerge with evidence of contamination and cover-ups. That afternoon, Maya receives a call that changes everything. Miss Chen, this is Attorney General Patricia Morrison. We're filing federal criminal charges against Commissioner Wells and 12 Aquatech executives, including CEO Jonathan Kessler. Your courage in exposing this systematic poisoning has prevented countless deaths. Maya sits in stunned silence. Additionally, Aquatech has agreed to pay $847 million in damages to affected communities, and fund complete water infrastructure replacement in all contaminated areas. Your brother's medical expenses are fully covered, along with treatment for every child affected by their negligence. 6 months later, Maya stands at a podium in the state capitol, addressing a packed auditorium. Behind her, a banner reads, "Environmental Justice Summit, Youth Leadership in Crisis." When I started testing water in my neighborhood, I thought I was conducting a simple chemistry experiment. I learned that science isn't neutral. It's only as powerful as our willingness to act on what it reveals. The audience includes environmental scientists, public health officials, and community activists from across the country. Maya's research methodology has been adopted by citizen groups nationwide, empowering communities to monitor their own environmental safety. Commissioner Wells was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison for corruption and child endangerment. Aquatex executives received similar sentences. Their company has been dissolved, with assets transferred to a public trust for environmental remediation. Maya pauses, looking out at the diverse crowd of activists and officials. But the real victory isn't their punishment. It's that children in Riverside Heights can now drink water without fear. It's that communities across America have tools to protect themselves from corporate negligence. After her speech, Maya walks through the Capitol building's halls, past portraits of previous legislators and governors. She's 18 years old, heading to Stanford in the fall on a full scholarship to study environmental engineering and public policy. Her phone buzzes with a text from Antonio. "Saw your speech online. My breathing test results came back perfect. Doctor says no permanent damage. Love you, sis." Maya smiles, remembering the scared 12-year-old connected to breathing machines just 6 months ago. Now Antonio plays soccer again, runs without gasping, sleeps through the night without coughing fits. Outside the Capitol, Maya meets Jake Morrison, who's been covering the environmental justice movement's growth nationwide. "Maya, any regrets? The death threats, legal battles, family trauma, was it worth it?" Maya considers the question, watching families walk past on the Capitol grounds, parents with children who will grow up with cleaner water because she refused to stay silent. "Jake, Commissioner Wells once told me to know my place. He meant I should accept injustice quietly because I was young, because I was a person of color, because I was just a high school student." She looks up at the Capitol building where laws are made and justice is supposed to be served. "But I learned something important. Our place isn't determined by age or race or social class. Our place is wherever we choose to stand for what's right." Maya's phone rings. The caller ID shows FBI agent Torres. "Maya, we've opened investigations into water contamination in 7 more cities based on citizen reports using your testing methodology. Would you be interested in consulting on the cases during your college breaks?" Maya grins. "Agent Torres, I thought you'd never ask." As Maya walks away from the Capitol, heading home to her family and her community, she carries with her the knowledge that one person's courage can change everything. The water doesn't lie. The data doesn't lie. And sometimes that's all you need to bring down an empire built on deception. Her work is far from over. But for tonight, children in Riverside Heights will drink clean water, breathe easier, and sleep safely. Because an 18-year-old girl refused to accept that some people matter less than others. The water doesn't lie. And neither should we. Maya Chen's story reminds us that justice isn't a spectator sport. It requires ordinary people to make extraordinary choices when confronted with systematic injustice. Age doesn't disqualify you from changing the world. Neither does lack of resources, political connections, or institutional power. What matters is this: when you see children being poisoned for profit, when you witness the powerful preying on the vulnerable, when corruption masquerades as policy, will you stay silent to protect yourself, or will you find the courage to speak truth to power? The water doesn't lie. The question is, what will you do with the truth? If you find strength in Maya's story, hit that like button to help others find it too. This story of courage needs to be told. Subscribe to Mirror Stories for more powerful stories. Share this story to everyone who need to see it and find courage.